This is sort of a car that's been built up from parts, real genuine parts. It was constructed in the 1980s using period 1926 chassis parts and gearbox. But underneath the front of that car is a 27-litre Aero engine. It's a sort of land speed record body design. That engine developed 600 horsepower, was originally fitted to a single-seater fighter plane, the D-27 DYT, and it is a massive thing. It weighs at 1.8 tons, has a top speed of 145 miles an hour, with a fuel consumption of 2 miles per gallon. It wouldn't have won any economy run, that's for sure. So, the Delage, that was 27 litres. Next up, a car which some of you may well have seen. If any Downton Abbey fans there may well remember the Downton Abbey racing car sequence during that parade. And the car appearing now is that very car. It's a Vauxhall Viper Aero. And this Vauxhall Viper originally had a 4.5 litre a 4-cylinder engine that had about 40 horsepower. So the chassis had that little 40 horsepower. Now it's got 300 horsepower with a 12-litre engine from a Hispano-Suiza V8 Aero engine with 12 litres. And after the Vauxhall, we're going to have a Dion Curtis rocket. Now, if you look at the side, look at the engine bay for this car, you'll see it's got a 8.2 litre V8. But you can actually see the rocker arms operating the valves, bouncing up and down. It's an external rocker arms operating the valves. That's a 1911 Dion, 8.2 litre from a Curtis Aero engine. This still competes, this car, in vintage sports car sprints and hill climbs. And it's only got rear-wheel brakes. All these old cars have rear-wheel brakes only, so yeah, stopping wasn't easy. And next up, what must be the longest Aero engine car ever made. This was actually a Fiat land-speed record car. It was built by Fiat back in 1905 to go to America to take on the world speed records. But it had 2 engines when it was first built. There were 2 engines at the front of that car. Mercedes were building a similar thing from Germany. The Americans didn't like that, so they outlawed twin-engined Aero cars. So the car was actually stuck in the back of a barn, never went and did land speed records until a few years ago, the owner driving it now, Mike Vardy, stuck a 16.5 litre Isoto Fraschini engine at the front, which you see out there today. So each cylinder is like 2 3/4 litres, almost 3 litres each of those 6 cylinders. Massive engines. It weighs 2.2 tonnes. It actually races, this car. Mike goes out and races in a good wood. He does hill climbs like a Chelsea Walsh. And the rear wheels, he can spin the rear wheels up in first gear. Got an absolute brute. The good thing about the driving position, I've thought, is that if it all goes wrong, you can just bail out the back and escape the beast. we can turn around at the end of the Aero. I've never seen it turning around, but with that length of car, it's an absolutely wonderful 16.5 litres of a Sotto Fraschini Aero engine. And the last of our Aero engine cars is the 1940 Fafnir. And the Fafnir, they were made in Aachen in Germany, and it's got a 10-litre Hall Scott Aero engine built in 1917 for an American biplane. So Aero engines coming from all over the world. The bodywork is actually newly made and it's styled exactly like the 6 Fafnir team cars of the early 1920s, which raced in various events. And I suppose when there were 6 of them there, you could say they were faffing about a lot. Maybe that's where where's my expert? Is that where the word faffing came from? The Fafnir German car from Aachen was raced between 1908 and 1926. The actual word comes from an evil dragon in Nordic legend. So one of the prettiest Aero engines cars. You can't call it the evil dragon. It's rather nice, I think. That's good. So, give a wave to the Fafnir as we leave our Aero engine beasts behind and move on to the next